sales meeting in a very long time. So I want to just say welcome, and let's go around the room and introduce ourselves, because we haven't done that for a little bit. So can I start with you?
Yes, Amanda Sinyard. Hey, I'm Amanda Keller.
Okay.
I'm Megan Powell.
I'm Angie Ware. I'm your concierge, your assistant.
Oh, John Z, America's Preferred Home Warranty.
Tyler. Great introduction.
I'm Tyler Hicks. I help with social media here.
Yeah. Okay, Eric.
I'm Kim Reeve.
Kat Keaton.
Tony Couch. Nicole Owens.
Dana Latassa.
Holly Munn's office manager.
Melanie Adams.
Tabby Shoy.
I'm Sarah Jerry with Home Star.
Marilyn Scott.
All right, awesome. And you know me and Lynn, so this is very exciting. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thanks for coming. All right, just so you know, we are videotaping now. We've been doing that for the last few months. For those that can't make it, that work full time usually, it's not an excuse to be not here. But if they work, you know, if you work or something, you have a closing, for instance, I know Miranda's, you know, going to closing, she won't be, she can still watch the sales meeting, she just can't participate. All right, we want to thank John Z for breakfast.
Hey.
Look at that
Look
spread.
at that. I'm scared that all the gooey butter cake goes away by the end of the day if you eat it early, but warning, don't eat it after lunch. It's got, no.
That's when the calories go back in.
That's when they do. So glad to be here, see some new faces. You guys have definitely grown from the inception, from the kickoff party. It's amazing. But again, it's a pleasure to work with you guys. My goal is to help you sell more homes, and generally happy homeowners end up giving you referrals, and it makes business a whole lot easier for you. If you're new, I'd be glad to meet. I can't stay today. I have to go to another Maximum One office. I do. I can't stay. I have to go to Woodstock. But after this, but yeah. But anyways, that's a whole.
No, we left there to come here.
I know. That's why I met you. But that's a whole nother thing. But what's kind of unique about warranties is that, you know, once you make a homeowner happy by giving them that peace of mind to move into a transaction, sometimes the deals become a lot quicker in terms of it doesn't take you as long. You don't have to show 20 homes to sell one, you know. So if you sense that somebody is interested in a home, but they're very much not sure how well something's been taken care of, it's a good idea to kind of ask the seller to provide the home warranty. So it's different if I'm up here trying to say, hey, I'm not asking you to buy them, but you know, just get the seller to buy it. It's usually a small negotiating point in there. Our transactions are basically about $500 or $600, and that pretty much covers everything. But be careful, don't be the agent that says, oh, this will cover everything, because everybody has limitations and stuff. And you'll find out a lot about a company when it comes down to, you know, some issues and stuff like that. One thing I'll tell you is that, you know, I'll support you any way that I can to kind of help you through certain things. If there's certain gray areas or something, give me a call. I'd be glad to work with you. If you're new in the business or you just want a review on home warranties, I can take you, you know, we can grab a cup of coffee, we can go through the whole, you know, why a seller should have a home warranty, why a buyer should have a home warranty. And what's kind of cool about ours, we're the only one in the industry that lets you choose your own contractor. And if you hear from like people like Clark Howard and people like that, they say home warranties aren't that good because the contractors really aren't that good. So our business model changes things and allows a homeowner to choose their own contractor. Now, because we've only been in Georgia 5 years and I opened up Georgia for them, there have been occasions where homeowner calls and they say, hey, I got a problem, you know, send somebody out. They say, hey, we don't work with home warranty companies. Do you know why most contractors don't work with home warranty companies? They get squished margins and they take 2 months to get paid. So we kind of address that too from a standpoint where when a homeowner calls with a claim, we say, you can call any licensed contractor, have them come out. We basically give them a claim number and said, when the contractor comes out, have them give us a call with the diagnosis. We tell the contractor, hey, if you accept payment over the phone, We can pay once your homeowner says they're happy, so they get paid instantly and they don't have to take reduced fees. So that works out real good for contractors. So if there's ever an issue, don't be afraid to, hey, tell your homeowners that once they hear they make their normal fee and they get paid instantly, they're good. They just don't want to deal with the other home warranty companies. And to think about it, if you owned a business, why would you want to do that? Take less money and take 2 months to get paid. And so generally your better contractors are not going to want to work with home warranty companies. So we kind of address that and let the homeowners choose their own. Also, you don't get blamed because they chose the contractor, and generally you can look at an air conditioner, water heater, things like that, and see who installed it. You can go back to the original people. Obviously they might know that system better than other people. We have a neat realtor portal that you can sign into, order warranties. I know Marcy does it all the time. And what I might do is, if you want to, we'll send a series of 2 emails. If you want to sign up, just put your name down, put your email. We'll send you thanks for coming to the training. Then the second email is your credentials to log on to the portal. And for those that like working off of phones and iPads and stuff, you can download an app to do the same thing. So you can generate invoices, you can forward things to the closing attorney, you can do all that. The other thing that you can do on the app, or you can also do paper-wise, but if you do a little work for us, we have a RESPA compliant solution that helps get you money. And if you don't like money, don't listen to this next part. But all you got to do is get us the brand names of the key appliances or upload the home inspection to us. Either one of those 2 things triggers a payment in our system. We went to a new system called NetSuite, and it has sped things up. So 10 days after closing or after we've been paid, we send a check. I think you get them, right?
That is quicker.
Yeah.
She never sees them.
Okay.
You go to Holly, you get deposits, it gets sent out.
Yeah, he's talking about have I gotten them before.
Yeah. So I'll just send the computer around if you want to sign, just do an onboarding thing. We're not going to bombard you with emails and stuff like that, but it's a way to kind of help get you going. Just click here and you're ready to go. But I'm going to just grab my laptop right here. If you have any questions, I'll take 1 or 2 questions and then I'll be done in terms of timing. Do you want to be in the concierge? Would you ever do that?
Whatever.
Order warranties and stuff?
I did before.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Good.
does for me now.
Okay, so you're already in.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll just send it by. So just name and email, and then we send you, again, welcome for training, and then also just a password to get into our Real Pro system. So,
I have a question. So what if the contractor charges a fee for coming out to the house?
well, the homeowner is responsible for either the deductible to the contractor, which is $100 or $50, depending upon which is chosen, or the trade fee, whichever is, if the trade fee happens to be more than that, they're only responsible for the deductible. Say their trade fee is $79, they'd only be responsible for $50. We would handle the balance.
Okay, but if we would, what if we don't use that contractor? We're still, the homeowner's out the.
Deductible. Yeah.
So basically, it's like the call fee, right? And it depends on the package, if I'm
Right.
right?
Yeah, it's either 100.
So it's either $100 or $50 that they pay, and then whatever the contractor does, whatever they charge, that's the only thing that the homeowner pays, am I right?
Yep, and I have to stress that, if there's ever an issue where something's a little weird, just give me a call. I'll help you out. I'm generally in a car, cover the whole half of the state from Blairsville all the way down to Thomasville, kind of west of 75. So, yes ma'am?
I'm totally new, so I want to understand. So if a home buyer wants to buy the warranty, then they ask you, or how does the system work?
Okay, so generally what will happen as an agent, you would try and work with them and say, listen, I'm not really sure how well everything's been taken care of. Generally what I'll do for you is ask the seller to provide a home warranty. So basically you would order the home warranty, but you would put it in the offer. You know, we're gonna offer X amount of dollars and a home warranty to be ordered by the buyer's agent. And you'd wanna put that in to protect, you know, if you want money, the $100, you can do that. Or, you know, if you're not interested in money, just let them choose whatever home warranty company they want. But we're the only ones where a homeowner gets to choose their own contractor. When you're listing it too, we have listing coverage. So you're talking to a seller during your listing presentation, you would say something to the effect that, hey, homes sell 11 days quicker and for $2,300 more when you offer a home warranty. And you can always give a simple example of, like my wife was in an accident. We usually buy a 2-3-year-old car, so we found 2 Hondas. One was white, one was Honda Accords. One was white, one was blue. The one blue came with a warranty. We got the one with the warranty. You know, and it can be the same way with regard to houses as well. So if they can sell it for more, and they also have some coverage during the listing period. And I'm gonna leave like supplies and stuff so you can take some home, but all the pricing and information is back inside here. I have 2 packages of things that I'll leave so you can take some and have them at home. I can also, if you like, I can send digital versions of this so that you can forward it to the millennial buyers who don't like paper. So I'll send it to Marcy so that you have it. Does anybody sell in Alabama? Or not? We all Georgia? Okay. Because I know that you know, in certain areas that are covered, they're
Phil
dual
does,
state.
Yeah,
He does
he's in
Alabama.
Rome
Phil.
almost, yeah.
Right. So hopefully that answered your question. If not, you know, we can get together one-on-one. You can pick your drink of your choice, and we'll take a few minutes and go through it. So if anybody would like to do that, I'd be glad to meet with anybody and you know, help you through the home warranty thing.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And I'll leave the supplies probably up here so you can grab some. Yeah, there's more up here too. So.
And I do want to say on behalf of John too, that every time that I've had a buyer use them and they've had an issue, it's not like an excuse to get out of it from the insurance, you know, from the warranty company. They actually take care of it and it's covered. So it really is valuable. I talked to an agent recently who said, I never do home warranties because they never pay for anything. They always just give excuses. Well, that's not the case here. And I know that from personal experience.
Especially if something happens really quick. Every other warranty company will deny claims saying it was a pre-existing condition. So if we have a home inspection that said, hey, the AC was working, they move in, you know, we're not going to deny that claim. I had that experience myself with American Home Shield. The other thing is we are Better Business Bureau AAA A+ rated, which is important. You know, it says that we take care of customers.
Yeah.
So thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you. And I know, Sarah, I didn't put you in here, but I know you had something you wanted to share about rates right now, right?
Oh, yes,
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Marcy goes, do you have anything new? And I was like, not new programs, but rates have gone down significantly, so that's good news for any buyers. We have, you know, we were kind of anticipating them to keep going up, so them going down is good. So any buyers that are hesitant on the fence, let's go ahead and get them in to where, lock them into that rate before they start going up again.
If nobody's heard about the 100% financing,
Yes.
if maybe, is there anybody here that has not heard about the 100% financing outside of USDA? Anybody?
Yep.
Good.
Yep, it is still a going program, so anybody who isn't looking in USDA and don't have the down payment, we can definitely run the 100% conventional route with them and see what we can do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right. So, just wanted to give you kind of a little bit of an update on our promotion. So we have, I think, 2 agents that are going to get cruises, which is really exciting.
Only agents?
So, but I want to make sure that you guys know 5/15 is the cutoff date, which is like tomorrow. So if you're gonna send somebody to us to talk to us or anything else that's new, make sure you get them in here before tomorrow. At least have them call us before tomorrow so that your points count. And then if anyone has been doing this, you should have points that you're accumulating for a new or experienced agent referral, new or experienced agent interview, or a new agent join. If you don't remember what those are or how to calculate them, go back to your email that was provided on March 15th and take a look over that. So we're kind of excited to get to give away a cruise or two. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So who knows what the future will hold.
Yes.
Does everybody like cruises? Does anybody not like cruises? I mean, right? There's so much fun.
Stephanie said she, she's never been on.
Who?
Stephanie.
Oh, well, she's never been on one. She'd get on that boat.
Yeah,
That
should be.
idiot of
Oh.
her. We'd never see her again because she'd be on a cruise after cruise. So now, our agent of the month, we want to award Amanda Singer. Come on up here. This is amazing. I don't know if we've ever had somebody in 1 month do over 1 million yet. In one
Well, we
month.
never had a Amanda Singer.
No, we wouldn't afford you this.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You can take a
You gotta
picture.
take a picture.
Get out of the light. Who can take a picture for us and send it to us?
Stand up, girl, and go down.
Yeah, we got that.
Thank you. If you would forward that to me.
That's
Thank you.
fine.
Thank you. So,
Congratulations.
we are very proud of you. Do you have any words of wisdom, anything that you can share?
I don't know.
I've got a bunch of closings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to play hard, right?
Yes.
Sometimes cry hard.
Yeah, a lot of crying hard.
So, April volume, we were at almost 5 million again, so 4.9. Yeah, 29 transactions. And we had a bunch of people do duplicate, like more than one closings. I had, I think, 5, which is crazy to have 5, but I didn't get that top spot. It just beat me out. It's all good. But yeah, Amanda Kelly, put your hand up. This is Amanda Kelly. She got more than one. Eric Wren's got more than one. Eric, put your hand up. Okay. And Brittany Cutway, who's not with us right now. So, anyway, I want us to talk because it's gotten kind of quiet. So let's talk about what's going on in Bartow County. You know, what are you seeing happening or anywhere around you? I can start it and then somebody else be thinking, okay? I had somebody come in yesterday who said that Calhoun is gonna get about an extra 900 jobs very soon. Calhoun.
Yeah.
Is it a big factory coming in or?
There's several large manufacturing companies coming into between Adairsville and Calhoun, as well as in Cartersville. So there's a lot of stuff happening. Now, I know the bridge is just about completed over here, so the North Campus should be opening up. I mean, I think we're poised on a really big breakthrough. So who knows something about commercial or residential or what's going on that I don't know?
Mary, you got anything? Sometimes you know stuff.
No, you never really know about the Chick-fil-A warehouse, so no.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A distribution center is gonna bring about 300 jobs.
Where is it gonna be?
Right here.
That's
Oh,
right.
Dana?
Dana might know something about that. Dana works for
I
Chick-fil-A.
haven't heard 300. You've heard,
Really?
I've heard around 200.
Oh, okay. Well, the paper said 300, so
Okay.
I'd rather get my
Maybe
news from you
then.
because it's probably more accurate.
Where's it gonna
I thought it was further north.
I thought it was further north also.
Yeah.
It's the Cass White exit over there.
Yes, the
White
Cass,
House.
exactly, the Cass
Really?
White.
Okay. What's going on in Adairsville? Tony's up in Adairsville. You see anything happening?
No. No,
No?
I know of.
be? She don't have time.
Has anyone noticed there's a lot more land for sale lately?
Well, that would, that's just, people are, things are happening, so that kind of triggers.
Okay. All right, anybody else? Have anything else going on that you know of?
About a lot of new construction,
Yeah.
which neighborhoods popping up everywhere.
Okay, so like where is everywhere?
What's the newest one? There's
Who's
Oh,
developing the one
Harley
off
Road.
Peoples, does anybody know who's developing the one off Peoples Valley Road?
I didn't even know
Like
there was one
there,
off People's Valley.
Is it Peoples Valley? Well, it's kind of not Peoples Valley, it's right, Peoples Valley, you branch off this way, it's past the College and Career Center on Grassdale. It's just a little community on the left, but I seen them working on it, but I have no idea whose it is.
Huh.
They've been
Development
working on it
started.
for years.
Yeah, they started before the crash, but they're
They're
like,
starting.
yeah, they're out there working at it.
Yeah, that's good to
There's
know.
another one on Cedar Crest,
On
just
Cedar
past
Crest.
Seven Hills, and then there's another one on 92, just past Crossroads.
Okay, and I know
Yeah.
there's
Both of
some
them are
55 and
still
up
in
going, yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah,
just
on
cleared the
Fort
ground.
Cedar Crest area is like
Heard
popping
it.
up a lot.
Pardon?
The Cedar Crest, the Salmon Hill, I mean, that connector and when past like Cedar Crest and Crossroads 92, there are a lot of neighborhoods coming up, so a lot of
I
them.
think the last 2 weeks, they've cleared probably, I don't know, 20 acres.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes,
just past Crossroads on the right.
yes, on the right side.
They're clearing land out
Yeah.
by the planters too.
Oh, yeah.
For years.
Yeah.
What did you hear?
Right past the limits.
That's so true. It is.
Their house back there. Their house, yeah, their house there. They said that they had a HOA meeting or something, I think Colin Houston asking him.
Yeah, no, I called the developer and they said that it was gonna be, like mid 200,000 to 300,000.
Well, that would help their house in this case.
Yeah, it's Starlight Homes who built Riverside Walk or Riverwalk or whatever that's called there. Yeah, I mean,
That's ugly, but.
no, I mean, they're not, to me, it's not the same quality as the
Right.
planters,
Right.
but it's going to compete with all the listings in the planters, and I had a listing appointment for that reason too. People
Yeah.
are like, we're getting scared, if we don't move now.
Well,
We're not gonna be able to
two
sell.
that back straight up to it, there, one's waiting to have a baby, but when they called me out there, and they're buddies, but they were
That's
killed for
what
that
they-
reason.
So I wonder if that's a rumor that.
I have no idea.
Huh,
They told me they heard of the HOA meeting, but I couldn't imagine.
I can't imagine either.
But
You
you
should
know,
call
some
him,
people
so.
have crazy mouths, so.
Yeah, that's true. But I saw that it was, whatever, what's the name of the company?
Starlight.
Starlight Homes, and I called them, and I had to dig to get to somebody who knew about it, but that's what they told me, so. There's that, there's also, 55 and up going down off of, 41, before you get to Cedar Crest, that's coming at some point. Can't remember what it's called, but,
They have we went to a meeting at the chamber and they have Encore Etowah and it's,
Isn't that one off Delta Ferry?
that was
That's
on
off
Delta
Delta
Ferry.
Ferry,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's gonna be a great thing though. Like you can just transition straight from your $55 home over to assisted living. Like
Yes.
It's really good.
yeah, it's a really good plan. So, it sounds like we need some new construction information, huh? Like builder contracts, maybe we should do a class on new construction.
Really good.
Agree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new
Yeah.
construction out there.
And it's all like, people think, the public thinks that you just go there and you deal with the agent on site. And we need to intercept that mindset. And they also think that, well, you can't get us a better deal because there's no negotiation, but that's not the case a lot of times. Now, in the neighborhood that I live in, which is Wingfoot Park, I mean, it's like they have a waiting list. As soon as they get lots, it's just filled. So they don't need to negotiate much. But there are still things you can do, still things that you can negotiate for here and there that they'll allow you to do, like on the lot premium or something, But some of the newer communities, I mean, that's where you get really good deals, or at the very end, so that they're finishing up. But if you don't know that, you may not be able to serve your clients as well, so we should do that.
Yeah, and I'm helping a client who wants to buy a brand new house,
Uh-huh.
and we've been like looking around a lot. So the couple of neighborhoods that we went and I talked to those agents, they said they usually get a lot of clients through the mover companies. These, they help the clients, to move from one state to the other state.
Like relocation companies?
Relocation companies, yes, those, and she said if our broker can talk to them,
Mhm.
we might get a lot of business through them because a lot of Keller Williams and other agents are coming through them.
Through the relocation
Yes,
companies.
relocation. Yeah,
The
those relocation
relocation-
companies, they hook up a real estate agent with a person who is moving in.
Yeah,
And then they help them buy the house, so.
right. You pay those relocation companies about 35% commission, so it's kind of like opposite. Yeah, it's like but it's a higher end, so I mean, it's still,
Yeah,
it's a
still like
referral.
that, yeah.
It's just we have to get awarded the contract and all that kind of stuff, so, but Lynn and I will discuss that actually, because that can't hurt, you
Yeah, I
know?
mean, especially like
Can't
new
hurt. People are
agents, and
coming
then
in.
they are, you know, like looking for business even if they have to split 50% with somebody or something.
Yeah, yeah. All right, anybody else have anything they're seeing trending, or, John?
No, just on TV, you know,
yeah.
it says it's so easy to get rid of your home, just call, you know, and,
The open door and
have you guys talked
all that
about
stuff. Yeah, we have.
the costs that are, I mean, it's significant, that, somebody said that it starts out at like 20% off of market, and then they have a clause in there about expenses, it ends up being about 27% for any of the repairs.
We actually did a case study on it, and they were actual deals that people did, you know, and got quotes for or whatever. And the least amount that the homeowner would have gotten, you know, screwed over for. That's the way I can say it, that's all I can come out of my mouth, is $19,000, and the highest is $219,000 on a $475,000 property. So can you imagine?
Yeah, I'm just saying, so you
People
gotta
have
get that
no
message
idea.
out to people
We need
saying
to.
that it's
We
not.
need to do a better job at that, and
Yeah.
we're not. I don't see it on social media. Do you see it on social media? Social media guy? Yeah. So I think that's something we could do better, and maybe we would be able to cut that off and have people call us because we are knowledgeable about the difference.
Right.
So what I'm seeing on social media is open door in my face and knock in my face, and you know that because I'm in real estate, they keep, you know, I guess the algorithm or whatever picks me out because I post houses for sale.
Their reviews are bad on Open Door from sellers. A lot of them are not very happy with what happened, what transpired.
Yeah.
They were told one thing and after they signed it was something different. So
Yeah.
if you just have them, hey, why don't you go and read some reviews? And the reason I did that was I had a buyer that was interested in a offer pad property.
Yeah.
And they're, just give you all a heads up, if you have an offer pad and your buyer is interested in that, and I asked the agent up front, her name is Jacqueline, I said, Jacqueline, I have heard that if my buyer comes without an agent, you're more apt to choose that buyer without an agent than one with an agent. He said, oh no, whoever has the best offer. I said, okay, that was, in an email. Well, the exact thing happened. I had a full offer, actually over a full offer, and we didn't get it. And so I emailed, I said, hey, what could we have done different to get this off, to get this deal? She said, well, I have this in email. The other buyer did not have an agent, so we chose them. She did not say it was a better offer or their net was going to be more. I have it in an email.
Wow.
In writing. I didn't even respond.
Wow.
Because it just showed me that that's what they're about. So it was a full offer. Was there no closing calls? It was over a full offer.
Yeah.
And they chose, she said, well, we chose the agent, and we chose a buyer who did not have representation.
Wow.
Unethical.
So just heads up. If it wasn't another offer, you may have gotten it, but since there was one, she had no representation, they chose that
That's
offer.
They're super hard to work with during deals, so you can't get them to do anything.
We are so lucky, we're doing an offer pad right now for Open Door, that's right, not offer
You're
pad.
talking about open door or offer pad?
Offer pad is the
Offer
one who,
pad, okay.
I didn't get it.
Okay,
Open
Open
Door
Door
is the
is
one that had
separate.
bad reviews. Open Door had bad reviews from sellers.
Okay.
And Offer pad is the one who just, hey, this person didn't have an agent, we was on with them.
Yeah, they've been great, but there was there was another offer.
Who did you go through?
Open door.
It was open door, and you had a buyer.
It was okay until the repairs, and we really had to stay on them to get the repairs done properly because they said, oh yeah, they're done. And I was in Houston at the time, that's when we were out there, so I have, another agent that covers for me when I'm out of town, go out there, and just, nothing's done. And so I had to send them pictures, yeah, so just make sure if they negotiate any repairs and that you guys really stay on top
Just
of
now
them.
negotiating repairs, so
Okay.
I'll make sure I get out there and
Yeah.
make sure it's done.
Yeah.
They've been really easy to work with so far, and very kind of laid back,
Mm-hmm.
just informal.
Yeah. They were like that when I was doing the transaction with them, but it was just the repairs when it came down to that.
Okay.
That's good to know.
All right, good to know. Let's talk about business. Who has new business? Anybody have it coming soon?
I have one.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
have one New Harley that's coming, and it's in Misty Ridge.
Oh, okay,
And it's
good.
going to have it has a entire apartment downstairs. It's designed for a parent moving in that's older. I can't say that word, kind of older. You know, someone, a more mature person. It has a little kitchenette. It has the bathroom is designed for that. It has 2 bedrooms in case there's maybe someone to stay overnight. And then it's going to be really nice. It's going to probably be around 200,000.
Okay, cool. Who else? Tabby, you said you had, oh, wait, you, okay. Tabby?
Yes, it's in Rome, it's 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house.
Nice.
Wow.
It's going for 150 about 100.
Really?
That's a good deal.
Wow.
Is it real?
In Rome, yes.
Where in Rome?
It was older, but it was renovated like 2 years ago, and then they bought it else.
Wow, that sounds like
It's
it's
really
gonna
renovated.
fly off the market. How about you, Kim?
We have a 2-bedroom condo in Buckhead.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yep. I'm excited.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It should go really quick. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's the one that's going furnished, that we don't know how to
Yeah.
list the price, to
Yeah.
calculate the money, because it's not part of
To estimate the inventory, what's in
for
it.
the appraisal. You know, you can't count the furniture in because
Right.
it's not gonna appraise the.
But it's like,
You don't know how to do
it's
that.
like a model home. I mean, they break
So
down
Lynn, I'll be talking
closets.
to you about that
Okay.
before we list it. Which they wanna sell it all furnished.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. Anybody else? New listings? Come. I'm going on a listing appointment today, so we'll see. That'll be a thing. Hopefully, have a new. I've got a couple that'll be coming, probably the end of May, early June in, North Cartersville in my neighborhood, so we'll see about that. So that'll be a price point that everybody's looking for. Hopefully, they're still looking for it that way. So, anyway, okay. All right, how about new listing? Anybody have something new that people don't know about yet? Or, any new contracts that are like really exciting? You have one? Okay.
Contract.
Oh, a new contract?
Yeah, I listed, some of you met my best friend Jeanette. It's her sister's house and it was up in Canton, to me, it was like in the middle of nowhere.
Off 108?
Huh?
Off 108, that one?
Yeah, that 108, yeah, it was in Silver Creek. So it sold in 4 days.
Woo-hoo!
279.5.
Good job. Good job. Awesome. All right. Speaking of Lynn.
Yeah, do y'all mind if I see it? I'm kind of comfortable right now, so let's see. Okay. I'm actually going to talk to you today about safety, okay? And, you know, the thing, well, I'm going to tell y'all about what happened to one of our agents. Okay, Sheila Jones. Who knows Sheila Jones? Most everybody in here knows. Yes, nobody, because she's the sweetest thing. Okay, she was out showing houses. So she shows this house and the comments, you know, in the listing, private comments, it said there was an aggressive dog in the backyard. Don't go out there.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, she goes out there. The dog was a pit bull.
Oh, no.
She put her hand like this, and she said, you know, because I thought that was like a defensive thing. That thing tore her hand up. Now, there was a dog run out there also that the homeowner could have had that dog, you know, restrained somewhat. But there was nothing that she could do. I mean, and literally, I mean, she was like down. just over this thing, cause it was so painful in her hand. That I'm talking, you know, make sure if you're listing a house and there's some kind of condition like that, you really delve into it and try to protect the other agents that are gonna be showing that house. I mean, just saying there's a vicious dog, well, you know, you need to crate the dog, you need to do something. Because somebody's gotta be able to go out there and see what the backyard looks like. So, you know, you don't want, if you can help it, do a little bit more than just stating there's some danger there. Also, some of you may have heard this story from me before. I had a client that I had already sold their house and sold them another house. Well, the woman's mother decided that she would move from Michigan down to be closer to her daughter. So she comes down for a week. I show her houses. We really didn't find anything that she wanted. Well, it always is. Come Monday morning on the hot sheet, there's the house. Okay, so I take her daughter over there. So when I take her daughter over there, this woman, the daughter was kind of large. You know how if somebody finishes their garage, a lot of times you might have a step or two steps going down into this finished area. The woman was literally like inches from me. She was going ahead of me. And I thought she saw the steps that went down. She did not see them. And she went down and fell, resulting in a compound fracture.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the people that owned the house, he had a heart condition, which was one of the reasons they were moving. And they were at Emory having tests done. While they're gone, this all happens in their house. We were on it was on a cul-de-sac, had EMS, fire trucks, all kinds of stuff out there to take her out. Then I get later that evening a call from the woman's husband wanting me to go over and take photographs. Go in the house, use my lockbox key, and take photographs, which I went on the FMLS rules and all of that, and I said, I am not doing that. I'm very sorry. They did end up suing, get this, the mom ended up buying that house, and after they closed, the daughter sued the homeowner. Well, their insurance, she said, but I still feel like she sued them. Yeah, she did.
You won?
Yeah. So, please, and I'll tell you what, you know, we have these like listing services. It is a great idea to read the conditions. Like when we opened our business and we had to pay FMLS and Georgia MLS, we had to sign a contract between this brokerage and them. And there are a lot of conditions to that. So if you have like questions about, well, why am I having to pay this? Why should I be expected to pay, you know, FMLS if I didn't even put it in there? I didn't have time to or whatever. It's in their compulsory area, and that's the reason why. I think it stinks, but it's the way it is. We want to provide that to y'all, and we probably couldn't run a brokerage without it. So they're kind of calling the shots. But just be extremely careful with your buyers in a house, because just anything can happen. I'm sure that, I mean, that's just what I know. I'm sure there's stories that other brokerages, things that have happened, you know, with taking someone in there to show them a house and something happened. So, you just need to be very careful.
Well, I had something happen when I was looking for a house before I was a real estate agent. We were looking at a house that was a foreclosure, and my agent at the time went in front of me to go down these basement stairs. And she got about halfway down the stairs, turned around and said, "Nope, we're not going down there, go back up." And I said, "What happened?" She said, "I saw something squirming."
Oh. Yeah.
So there were snakes down there.
What?
In the basement.
Yeah.
And, you know, we could have gone down there and gotten bit, and, you know, who knows if we would have gotten out in time or whatever, what kind of snakes they were. So, yeah, just be careful,
Be
beware.
very, very careful. You know, call the agent. If you see some kind of warning like that, call the agent and say, "Hey, I really want to show this, but somebody needs to not let the dog be running around loose
Yeah.
out there."
All I kept thinking of was, oh my gosh, I could just see kids, you know, a family with kids, and then mom's looking at the kitchen, and the
Yeah.
dad's looking at the living room, and the kid decides to go outside, you know? And, oh, doggy, you know, and there's his arm,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? It just,
Yeah, yeah. So,
Anyway.
that's the birth reminder of the day. I actually had one this time.
Yeah,
I
I
said,
was so
"Yeah, well, you
surprised.
can't take credit because Sheila Jones asked me to warn all of you, so you might want to say a little thank you to her when you see her."
Cool. It's giveaway time. We don't have our bowl.
Oh,
I just realized that. We didn't pass around our bowl. Hold on a second.
the bowl's in the closet. It's in the closet.
Closet.
Sorry.
And it's more or less a whole python. And it's like the lid snaps.
Pass the cards around. You don't have one, you can use mine. We're gonna everybody's got mine. Let's, who else doesn't have cards? Anybody else? Starlight, you got yours. Tony, you can be John. Dana, can you come on? Okay, write your name on the back of mine. Anybody else need a card?
All y'all are passing that around. It's like the Eric sent to me. He goes around and goes through the house.
Okay. Did you guys hear that? I'm sure you probably.
Yeah,
Is everybody talking?
yeah. Eric said that when you have a listing, yeah, he goes around and makes sure himself that, you know, sometimes in a garden or something, there could be like a loose rock or something like that.
Or a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if there's a loose rug in front door, they're used to it, they've been living there all these years.
Yeah,
You know,
somebody
maybe
else.
Put a nice skid thing underneath the rug or coming out or railings going down the basement or leaks. You gotta point all those things out.
Oh, yeah, railings going in the basement.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm mixing up y'all's cards, and I think we'll have Sarah. Hold on. Which one are you gonna give that to, but you fill that out, that's for, that would be for,
$25
for, what
for
month?
agent billing, for June.
June.
Yay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I went
June.
through that whole thing.
Okay,
June.
awesome. We're gonna leave this out because we've got something else coming, it's just not here yet.
Yes.
Joel? Oh, he is? Oh, well then in that case, Joel with Farmers Insurance is here, somewhere.
Is he back there talking to me? Joe,
right. Angie, come on up. Angie's been doing my concierge stuff, my contracted clients now for a while. And she's been a big help. She's giving me more time to get listings and work another business.
So I would love to help each of you in this room. I make it easy for you. You need a contract, you send it to me, I do the rest. I don't really, Marcy can tell you, I don't really bother her very much. I know what to do. I am a licensed agent. I bother her as little as I can because I know she's busy. So you give me the contract and I take it from there. There's 2 packages. One is standard. There's also the premium. That kind of gives you your own little assistant, basically making appointments, and we have the brochure out here in the lobby, so you can pick that up. So I'd love to help you. And then I want to talk just a minute about Spring Fling. Myself and Jessica from Arrow, she's one of the suppliers, and Kathy McLeod have been working on Spring Fling. But what Spring Fling is, it's a fun festival-like event, but it's also an outreach for the community because we're giving all the proceeds to Bartow Family Resource Center, and that's a wonderful place to put that money.
Everybody know who they are, Bartow Family Resource Center?
I used to volunteer there for 3 years.
I volunteered there too, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I do the women's side.
Use the women's side?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very important resource center for the county. It really is. They even give free counseling too.
Yes, they do. So, in addition to that, it's also a good time to do some marketing and networking with realtors, people that come through here. We would like for everyone that can to be out there with their name tags on, networking, meeting people. If you want to showcase your business, then we also have the availability to get a table. It's $15. Are we charging our own?
No, we're going to have our own booth, and it's
Okay.
going to be a bigger booth.
Okay.
And y'all can bring your, like, if you want to do coupons for something or something special, your own unique sales thing that you do or whatever that makes you unique, bring some information about it. Bring brochures, bring your business cards, and be out there meeting people. We're going to have, I mean, this is like when the Dixie Highway yard sale's coming through. We've got people from all over the state coming through, and they're going to be stopping their kids by the bouncy stations and getting popcorn and, you know, whatever else. We've got a little spin thing that we've got, you know, it's going to be fun, but we're going to meet people, so that's what it's all about, right?
I got a few little copies of the brochure that Jessica did for us. I'm just here. There's only 10. I think there's more people, so just kind of pass those around. But
that's good.
she kind of threw those together. Also have it in email form and a social media form. I think Tyler was great to help Kathy to put that together, so I can
We'll get some more.
get with Marcy to figure out how to get that to you so that you can use that. But if you have friends or associates that you know that do anything like Mary Kay or jewelry or Arbonne or art or anything that would like a booth for $15, I mean, that's a fabulous deal, you know. So,
and all that booth money goes back to Bartow Family Resource Center. And unless they pay by a credit card, then we have to take out the fees that we have to pay. And then the balance, whatever the proceeds are, go back to them. So we want to be vendors. Yes. The whole grassy area behind our building here is our land, plus all the grass over here up to the parking lot for the police station. So we have a large space we need to fill. And there's plenty of places to park, and there's, you know, I don't know, we've been able to pack a lot in here. We had for the fall festival, we had this huge stage with like a band and stuff. I don't know if you remember that. Were you here for that anyway? No? Well, it was huge. So we can fit a lot of people. We're gonna have food trucks and all kinds of stuff, so.
it's June 8th from 10 to 2.
Yeah.
We've already got the following vendors that are gonna do tables. It's Carrie Smith with Choice Home Warranty, Robert Murray with 210, John Bossanetta with Housemaster Home Inspection, John Caldwell with Wynn, Keith Graves with Liberty Mutual, Joel with Farmers, Jessica with Arrow, and she's also donating her small bounce house, Hartman, Homestar. We have a vendor called Mark Stencil. He's gonna do pottery for us. We got a taco truck, a snow cone truck, a hot dog truck. We also have a large bounce house that we're gonna get, and that's being sponsored by Hartman and Homestar. We also thought, and I've asked a lot of the vendors to donate something for that wheel that you do. So these will be like gift cards or small gifts or something like that for you to do for the
We
wheel.
have a wheel that spins, you know, that we put up in our booth, so it's fun.
We also thought about a cake walk, but we need some volunteers to get donations of cakes. We also need some just general help. I've tried to make a list of what we might need. Volunteers to set up the tables, volunteers to show vendors where to set up, to run the bouncy houses, to run the wheel raffle, and I just mentioned the cake walk. Volunteers to go to other vendors and ask for donations. If you have some special that you use, you could ask them for small donations. Someone that may be able to go around and collect the donations. We're gonna need the tables brought back in, cleanup of the lawn. So there's a lot of opportunities to participate by volunteering to help with some of these things, and we really appreciate your help. And like I said, I'll get with Marcy to get those 2 flyers out to you, either in your email or through your social media.
So who here can volunteer for something that day? Okay, Nicole, Melanie, anybody else? Marion, Holly? Okay, so let's just get it done now, Angie. Let's just get it done now and have them sign up for what they need to sign up for, so that you have that. So, Nicole, what can you do?
I can get a cotton candy machine like I did a couple of fall festivals ago and make cotton candy.
Okay, awesome. All right. Who else? Kim, Kat?
Yeah.
It was one of you, or both of you?
I'll tell you, the bounce house we could do for some volunteers.
You can volunteer for the bounce house, so there you go.
I'll help with setup and takedown.
Holly will set up and take down. Melanie?
I'll do wherever. I'm good with whatever.
Melanie, so whatever?
Yeah, I'll be a floater.
Floater!
Take walk
Okay.
around. I can go around for the donations and stuff.
For donations, okay. Anybody else? Marion?
I'll get with her and see what's on here.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'll do 2 cakes.
Oh, little mini cakes. Okay.
We're gonna be in Florida.
You're gonna be in Florida?
Yes, but we can, I can like go to the acres or something. I can't
Okay.
say.
That's fine. Go for acres or something.
I'll be happy to donate.
Hey,
We'll be friends.
Okay. So they can donate a cake.
Yeah, we can donate stuff, we just will be in Florida.
Y'all go next to the Higgins.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know.
And get them
I mean, all you have to do is do
something.
this
I bet they will.
and here.
We can't stay out of Aiden's already, so we get in trouble at Aiden's a lot.
I can get in trouble a lot, Dave.
And she's our landlord too, so.
Oh, is
she
she
owns-
really?
She owns our office building, so
Oh, I
we,
love that.
She might, you know, knew what the
Yeah.
boss was, we
Yeah.
probably.
She might even donate it.
yeah, she's, yeah, we can't stay out there. And I know Lynn, every morning you'll see us walking down Main Street.
Yeah, I bet. All right.
Main Streets.
I have to check my calendar, but I should be able to, but I'll bring my daughter with me, so I don't know what I can do with her.
Oh, well.
I know.
But I will
You
do
can-
whatever.
You could do
I'll
some
have
kind
to
of
check my
game or
schedule.
something maybe that would
Yeah,
involve
I
your
should be able
kids.
to. Yeah, let me check my schedule and I should be able to, but I'll have her with me.
Okay.
So.
Anything you can think of that, like even like a toss, like a, beanbag toss or something, if you can,
Get her to help me.
yeah, get her to help you, but we need to provide it somehow.
Yeah.
too. So, whatever you can think of. For
Great.
little kids. Does that help? Yes. Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome.
You need to get some little,
There you go.
I've got a little swimming pool, you can do the little duck things.
Oh, the ducks.
Well, you can get those for dogs, I saw them the other day, like, at Walmart, all these different little ducks. They're so
Yeah.
cute, we could buy them, we have to buy the little ducks.
Yeah.
They're cheap.
Yeah.
And then keep them, you know.
Yeah.
You can buy them on Amazon Trading, cheap, they're little honey rubber ducks.
Yeah. Amazon.
Amazon Trading.
Amazon trading.
Okay.
Okay. Well, look at that. Did you write that down, Holly? Okay, thank you. I figured you would. All right, so let's get back to, is Joel available now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, he's done with his house fire. Please come in.
Oh my gosh.
Joel with Farmers
Let's
Insurance.
see what he's got.
Yeah, he's got a giveaway. I thought maybe like a gift card or something, but it's like,
I was a few minutes late, so sorry about that. Anybody that wants a hat, hats today. And I can definitely, if you really just come through town, there's an office full of hats somewhere over there on Tennessee Street. So they're dry fit too, so they're really nice. But we've got visors and hats and everything else. Of course, you guys are always welcome. Actually, I'll just bring a bunch and just put them over here next to me. But
Then put one aside from here.
Yeah, Mary.
I will, Marion. I will make sure that you get one. Marion is not only a real estate partner, but also a client of Farmers Insurance. Thank you, Marion. So she should have been the first person to get one. I didn't see her hand. I'm sorry. We're definitely gonna give that away. I was just on the phone just a moment ago with a guy that had house fires. House fires do happen, and the story behind this one is he had some people over at his house last night and had a flower pot beside his door, and somebody threw a cigarette butt in the flower pot, and it smoldered all night, and then at 7 a.m. this morning, it finally caught fire and burned the entire side of his house, and they woke up this morning at 7 a.m. But house fires are part of what we do, and his question was, you know, that's not a typical situation, so is Farmers going to pay for that claim? And I said, Farmers going to pay for any claim that's not intentional. That's the only thing that you can't claim on your insurance is something that you do on purpose. Once again, I want to thank everyone here. It's been a little while since I've been up here and visiting, but we really do value our partnership with you guys, and you guys continue to send us referrals, and I just want to say thank you for that. We have 2 offices. We have one here in Cartersville on Tennessee Street. That's the one that has my name on it, and then for any clients that you have in Rome or Floyd County or any of that area, then my fiance officially. Thank you so much. So for everyone who wondered, like, what's that relationship? So we're now we're now engaged.
Something going on.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a weird thing because Farmers will not allow, because Georgia is the growth state for Farmers, they will only allow a family to have one office. So we had to officially not be a family. For the first 2 years that we had our offices. I know that sounds so weird, but we wanted 2 locations and not one. And so we have a location in Rome for anybody that's got clients in Rome, Floyd County, or North Georgia, Summerville, all the way up. And then anybody in Cartersville, Kennesaw. Of course, we have a full office staff here in Cartersville to take care of that. And that's another thing. We now have a full office staff. It's been very difficult for us because we've been blessed and cursed with a lot of business. Farmers has great products and great pricing, and so our growth has been phenomenal, and we've been trying to keep up with that. And so there's been, if I've missed anybody, I want to say I'm sorry about that. And I've been a little bit trying to hire and get the office staffed, and then at the same time we've had several good people that we've encouraged to open their own agencies. And so we've had people that have taken that opportunity, but when that happens, you lose somebody that you've trained for 6 or 8 months. So we've been in the growth stage, and thank you so much for your continued support. Is there any way that I can get online and show something online real quick? I'm not going to take much of your time at all, but I do want to point out one thing. Just keep in mind that we're always here for, we do a flood thing here at Maximum One. We do like a flood course to kind of get you knowledgeable on flood insurance. Know that I am knowledgeable about flood insurance, and so not that we don't want you to be, but I am. So if you have any situations that regard flood insurance, is it going to be required? Is it not going to be required? How much is it going to cost? Are they in a zone, this zone, that zone, whatever zone? Is that high risk, low risk? Just know that I know the answers to all of those questions. Is it grandfathered in? Did the people that are selling the home have a flood insurance policy? That's one thing that I would always say is important. If you have a client that they're looking at buying a house that's in a flood zone, give the other realtor a shout and say, hey, by the way, does your client currently hold a flood insurance policy? Because a lot of people don't know that flood insurance is transferable. And so if they were grandfathered in at a prior rate, that may be something that they can utilize. And because it may be a different rate, it may have move zones or whatever else, and they may be grandfathered in. So I would always say if your buyer is looking at a property that is in the flood zone, you know, shoot that realtor a message and say, hey, does your client have flood insurance or not? How much do they pay per year for their flood insurance policy? Because we're gonna look at it and we're gonna find out how much the current rate is. Could be a big difference there. And that may be something that is a decision maker or a deal breaker for your client. And so just know that typically when it comes to flood questions, we can pop that information in the system. I can have you a map, I can have you a quote, I can have you all of those things within an hour. And it makes you look, you know, really knowledgeable about the program when we can shoot a map over to your email and you can get that to your client and say, this is what we're looking at. And so anyway, we do offer that. One thing that I want to show really quick is, Google's already up. Okay, so of course, we go by, almost put real estate in there. Okay, so Georgia Insurance Commissioner. All insurance companies are governed by Georgia Insurance Commissioner. All of our rates have to go through the insurance commissioner. Anytime we increase rates, anytime your insurance company that you deal with goes up on rate, whether it's auto or home, they have to file that with the insurance commissioner. So a lot of times when you talk about insurance rates, like you'll call your agent and you go, why did I get this increase? And they'll say, well, everybody in Georgia had an increase, all right? That is a little bit misleading. That's the cop-out response from an insurance agent. And yes, insurance companies have had it. Not almost, every insurance company in the state of Georgia has had an increase in the last year, so it's correct to say that. But what I always say is, yes, but there's a difference between a 3% increase and an 18% increase, okay? So, you know, your insurance agent, when he says, well, everybody had an increase, that's a cop-out. Say, well, what was your percentage based on everyone else's percentage? Because there's a place that you can go on the insurance commissioner's website, and it shows every company, and you can graph it where it shows their percentage increase requests over the past 10 years. Really, it can be confusing, so I would really just look at the past 1 or 2 years. But here's the point that I always make to everyone, because of course, people that come to Farmers, they get a 5% rate increase, and it's the end of the world. Like, I get that. But what I say is, like, look at that increase. Like, you came to us from State Farm, let's say, and we saved you 20%, 25% on your rate. We went up by 5% in 1 year, and they went up by 15%. So not only did we save you a bunch of money in the beginning, but if you had been with them still, then this is what you'd be paying. And that's kind of what I always did with rates. Yes, every insurance company has had rate increases. So when you talk to your clients and they talk about insurance rates, if they're open to getting a quote, and we'd love to give them a quote, because what I'm about to show you is that you always hear me talk about how great our rates are and how great our programs are, but I'm about to show you that literally we can't be beat. Because the insurance commissioner, going back to what I said, the insurance commissioner keeps track of everyone's rates. So every rate filing, whether it's auto or home, it goes through the state. So one thing I want to show you real quick is if we go here to the Office of Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner, and then we can go here to, let's see where we can go to, where's the tab for Consumer Services? Okay. Right here, Consumer Services. And then they go down here to the Homeowners Insurance tab, and you can go, let me go and get a rate comparison, because they keep up with everybody's rates. So all these companies that talk about great rates, blah, 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 blah. So here we go. Let's go to HO3 frame, which is a typical policy. All right, so you've heard me talk about the difference between HO3s and HO5s before. Ours is an HO5. Farmers is. And the difference between an HO3 and an HO5, an HO5 is an all peril policy. Everything's covered. An HO3 is a named peril policy. So it has to say, these things are covered, these things are covered, fire, wind, blah, 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 blah. And you've heard my example before about how I had a customer that had a deer run in the back of the house. They had an HO3, they filed and this is when I was with another company, they had an HO3, filed a claim got turned down because it wasn't a listed coverage on their policy. At Farmers, we have HO5s, everything's covered.
That's why you see all those commercials, right?
That's why you see all the commercials. It's like, we've seen it, we've paid for it, blah, blah, blah. All right, we're not the only one. There's a couple of other companies out there that have all peril policies too. State Farm's one of them. All right. USAA, they're one of them. Hartford, they're one of them. But pretty much everybody else has an HO3. So when we do this comparison, it's really not even a fair comparison because our policy is such a better policy than what everybody else offers. But the majority of people in the state of Georgia offer an HO3. All right, so they throw out, well, you got replacement cost. Well, yeah, but what is covered for replacement cost? All insurance is not the same. So, but for comparison reasons, I'm going to show you really quick that even though we don't offer an HO3 and ours is an HO5, let's select HO3 frame, built home, so if it's built by sticks, all right, and then HO3 veneer, meaning brick veneer. But for purposes of this comparison, let's just use the HO3 frame. And then let's choose an amount of, let's just say $200,000 because, you know, that's an average. Maybe it's a low average. But let's look here, let's choose our county. Our closest county is just to say Cedartown, Polk County for reasons of comparison. And let's submit. And then what you're gonna see is look at all of these home insurance companies. Now these are all of the companies that are filed with the state of Georgia. So if you've got an insurance company in Georgia, it's in here. And then what you'll see on the right-hand side is it gives you a deductible comparison, $250 deductible, $500 deductible, $1,000 deductible. One thing that I want to point out, you got some common companies here like Alpha Insurance Corporation, $1,264 for that policy with them. When you get on down here, Farmers Insurance Exchange, $631.21. All right. You can spend your time looking up and down with these prices. It doesn't let you sort it by price. But the point is that we've got the lowest rate filing in the state. Period. So it really becomes about if the price is going to be the best in the state. The only reason I gave you that whole HO3, HO5 thing is so that you know also that you're getting the most comprehensive policy in insurance. So our rates are good, the policy is fantastic, and 9 out of 10 times we're gonna win on rate.
Awesome.
So, yeah, so, and here's another thing too, and I've said this so many times I can't even remember what meeting I said it in and which meeting I didn't say it in, but there are things on the farmer's policy, not only is it an HO5 all peril policy, but there are some things on our policy that no other insurance company has, and there's about 5 things, and I could spend another 30 minutes talking about that, but the one thing that I want to talk most about is that our policy has limited matching coverage. And what does that mean? That's an insurance term, I get it. All right, there's plenty of insurance companies coming out there putting half roofs on houses right now. And I can understand it on both sides because we got people knocking on doors going, hey, you got damage on your roof, let me get up there, let me get up there, let me get up there. Don't ever let somebody do that. But the point is that insurance companies, they used to come out there and just stroke checks for roofs. But now there's so many door knockers and so many people that are out there just literally lifting shingles that the insurance companies have a set parameter now, and they will absolutely pay for a half of your roof. If they can get away with, any insurance company, if they can get away with it, they'll pay for half of your roof, even the good ones. You know, the ones that I mentioned before, even good companies, they're not gonna pay for damage that, if one side is damaged, let's say 15 hits per 2 square, that's what roofers do, that insurance companies do. They come out there with a 2-foot square and they place it on your roof. And they say, how many hail impact hits are within this 2-foot square? If you've got 7 on one side, no roof. 18 on the other side, roof. So they'll just replace half your roof. Limited matching coverage, going back to that. If your shingle is faded or discontinued or obsolete, farmers, that one specific coverage says, we are not going to replace half of your roof when you've got a discontinued shingle or a faded shingle or an obsolete shingle. We're not gonna do this mismatch thing. I have had people come back to me that have had a roof that was 2 years old, and we have put on a half roof before. If it's, you know, a brand new roof and then shingles got blown off, yes. If the shingle is still manufactured and it looks exactly like the other shingle, yes. But anything other than it being the actual brand of shingle that you've already purchased and the same wear and tear, and we'll put on a new roof.
How are you handling the Atlas Chalet?
Atlas Chalet, Farmers does not, believe it or not, Farmers does not have a restriction on that. All right, so we know right off the bat that if your purchaser purchases a home with an Atlas Chalet roof, we know right away that we're buying that roof, and we'll still write it. All they have to have is one shingle fall off the house. But it's not only because it's Atlas Chalet, but it's because we have limited matching. So even if it were another brand, one shingle blew off. If those shingles were obsolete or faded or whatever, then we'd have to replace the whole roof anyway because we have limited matching coverage. But we do not have a restriction on that. That's a good question because Allstate will not write an Atlas Chalet, period.
So if you have blisters, I mean, no, it's not showing his hair, but it's showing his blisters.
We'll still write it.
Do you guys we have a lot of issues with like when we're selling mobile and they can't find coverage. You guys have to do mobile coverage?
Okay. Thank you for asking that question. Farmers Insurance is the #1 insurance company worldwide for mobile manufactured modular homes. All right. That was one of the reasons I was late today, is we had a gentleman come in that I've been after him for 5 years to write his home insurance, and he came in this morning. He was writing his business insurance. It's Bill Wood's Motorcycle Shop, and he was writing his motorcycle insurance shop policy with me. And I said, "Hey, how about that home insurance?" And he said, "Well, nobody will write it. I've already got off the phone with Geico about a week ago. They've got my car insurance, and they said it's too old." Okay, so here's the
We
point.
get that a lot.
Yeah. Here's the point that I made with that. That guy walked out of my door this morning, $900 a year, $120,000 replacement cost policy. For mobile homes, that's unheard of.
Yeah, it is.
Nobody can do that except for us. So we wrote a $120,000 replacement cost policy on a mobile home that was 25 years old. So there are no restrictions. We can get it done. Now I gave him the option. I said, "Look, if you want to insure it for $50,000 at actual cash value, because that's what it's worth."
Right.
I said, "If you want to insure it for $50,000 actual cash value, then it's $650 a year. But if you want replacement cost at $120,000, then it's like $900 and something."
I have an investor that I work with often, and she has trouble finding someone. She has like 3 mobiles that I've sold her in the past. She has issues finding someone because they're rentals too. Do you guys?
We do that too.
Okay, that's great.
It's a little more expensive.
Uh-huh.
It's about $150 a year more expensive when it's considered a commercial mobile home, and that's what they consider them, commercial mobile homes.
Okay.
You normally think commercial would be like a business,
Right.
but that's just how farmers call it. They call it commercial mobile home program, and yes, we do write it. That's and it is a little bit more because it being a rental. But yeah, we do. Like I said, we write more of those than anybody worldwide, and it's the reason that we do that is because people don't think about Farmers being the biggest insurance company. We're the biggest insurance company in the United States, period, hands down. But people always think State Farm is because Farmers has only been in Georgia for 7 years.
Right.
So we were the 3rd largest insurance company in the United States, only operating out of 13 states. But we're also a part of Zurich, and Zurich is the 2nd largest insurance company in the world. And the reason I can boast and throw that out there that we insure more of them than anybody else is because Farmers owns Foremost now, and we own Foremost. And here's the difference. So Foremost can write products through independent insurance agents too, but when you write a Foremost policy through a Farmers agent, it's 40% cheaper.
Oh, that makes sense.
Because we own, yeah.
Foremost.
So,
Some of our properties are Foremost right now.
and Foremost is a big insurance company for motorcycles. I'm not trying to get off point here, but people they'll say, "Well, I've got Foremost for my motorcycle insurance." I'm like, "You need to let me write it." And they're like, "Well, who are you writing it through?" I'm like, "Foremost," but it will come with a Farmers brand instead of a Foremost brand. But they're like, "Well, why would I do that?" I'm like, "Because we get a different rate than everybody else,
Right.
because we are farmers and we own that company." And so our mobile home program is through Foremost, but you wouldn't know that because it shows up with a branded. It shows up with a Farmers brand, and it's 30% lower on most products through them. So, and not only that, but with Foremost, the independent insurance agents can't write replacement cost on mobile homes. We can.
Okay.
I mean, they can on a brand new one, but they can't on a 25-year-old,
Okay.
like I just did this morning. So, thank you guys for everything. Sorry to take up so much time. Yes.
I had
I got the quote on the policies.
Mhm.
The guy gave me the quote and, we went over everything, specifics about the property, and this was my own property. When I got the policy and I checked it,
Mhm.
the square footage was wrong, the features were wrong, everything. He did that to give me a lower price, so I would take it.
It
So
happens
if
a
I
lot.
hadn't caught that and I'd had a claim, would they have paid replacement cost for my house at a difference? Cause this was like a difference of 500
Was it a
square
farmer's
feet.
agent or?
No.
No? Okay, so that's a good question. Let me answer that real quick. When there are agents out there, this is an ethics thing and it drives me crazy, but people will take shortcuts like that all the time. Just know that when they take shortcuts like that, they're hurting you as a client, because potentially, if you have a 2,000 square foot home and it burns to the ground, and the claims adjuster comes out there and looks at the policy and says, hey, this thing was listed as a 1,300 square foot home, they're not gonna pay you. They may not even pay you at all. Now, farmers typically does pay those claims, but there may be some adjustment to
I
that.
had to call back, and
Yeah.
then of course the rate went up.
Yes.
So,
There may be some adjustment to that. It's better just to knock it out up front. A lot of companies like State Farm, and I'm not talking, Farmers does this too, but a lot of the good companies, they have cushions built in on the coverage. So if you're insured at $100,000, then at Farmers, you have $120,000 coverage because there's what they call extended replacement cost cushion built in there. Well, what a lot of agents will do is they'll play that cushion. You see what I mean? So they'll insure you for 80 instead of what you need to be insured for at 100 by cutting some square footage off or doing something a little bit sly, knowing that that cushion exists. Well, here's the downside to that. It may look like on paper that you're okay, but if you get a claims adjuster on site and he starts comparing numbers like that, that's what they do. I mean, they're gonna nitpick. And if you have an agent that's willing, I say this, but if you have an agent that's willing to lie to the underwriter, then when the stuff hits the fan, they're not gonna say, I did that. They're gonna say, the customer misrepresented. Because if they're lying to get it, then they're gonna lie when that bad thing happens too. They're not gonna get your back. They're not gonna take your back. They're gonna go, oh, I don't know about that, because they wanna keep their agency and they could lose it over one policy, which blows my mind. Anybody that's willing to lose it over one policy is crazy. But yes, what you would have to do in that case, if something happened, is you would have to file, and this is available for any of your clients and you too. Your client can literally file a claim on the agent's errors and omissions insurance policy to pay for the difference. So you could say, I didn't do that, they did that. And you could say, I need your policy number for your errors and omissions, and y'all carry errors and omissions too. And you would have to make up the difference there. The thing is that would be a difficult process for you. But most likely, it would be done.
I'm just glad I called it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I
Do you
looked
think
at
it's a
it.
good idea to check your appraisal?
Always
especially
check
with
it.
your insurance appraisal?
Always check it, because that's a common, square footage is a common thing that they'll cut a couple $100 off your policy with. And, when you're competitive and when you're fighting somebody, and trying to get that rate down by $100 or whatever else to make it work on a, like a debt to income ratio or whatever else, then agents do a lot of stuff to get that price down. But just know that from a filing perspective, we're the lowest out of, 100 plus insurance companies out there, and the policies are good. Can we draw?
Yes.
Okay.
Just real quick, you deductibles, are they based on percentage or are they based on,
If you choose,
issue?
whatever they're comfortable with. The difference between a 1% deductible and a $1,000 deductible on a $200,000 house is about $70 a year. So if they're paying $700 for a 1%, it'd be about $775 to go down from 1% to $1,000 on a $200,000 house. So it's not much different. Marion! So hey, y'all saw I looked away, okay? She's not getting any favoritism. She's not getting any favoritism because she's a client.
You guys hear from them?
But yeah, no, like I said, we appreciate everything. I can't tell you how much we appreciate this relationship. When I was in my office and had nothing, the agents here helped me build something. And so, you guys are great, Dad. I can't wait to participate. I've got some ideas about that, but I'll check out the deal. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Joel. All right. Let's talk about some real estate marketing. And what we're going to talk about is branding. And we talked, well, actually everyone up here has talked about branding, which is funny because I didn't know that we're going to have this discussion. But, you know, farmers talking about their brand and America's Preferred Home already talking about their brand. So y'all can brand yourself too. And so, is branding important? Yeah. Because branding yourself keeps you current in your chosen field, opens doors for you, creates a lasting impression on clients. And, you know, here's the thing, when I was doing some research, referral business makes up the largest source of income for seasoned agents. So if you're new, you want to keep those people that you're meeting in your back of mind. But isn't that about right, Eric?
Sure.
Yeah, referral business. And 82% of buyers, I found this figure, 82% of buyers forget their agent's name after 8 months. And that's because we're not doing a good job at branding and keeping in touch with them. So, you know, my little plug for a CRM, that's part of, you know, why you need Chime. But really, when you brand yourself, people remember you. Anything that can be memorable, you know, just sticks in your head is helpful. So, I think what's next is we are going to watch a fun little video. And I can't do it on through the PowerPoint, so I got to get back to YouTube here and get this open. So everybody like Ellen? Yeah. She's hilarious. I hope we have our speakers.
Oh shoot, wait a minute.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
okay, pause. Well, in the meantime, while she's getting speakers, do you want to talk a little bit about branding, just about branding, and then we'll talk later?
Yeah. So Marcy asked me if I would say something about kind of branding yourself on social media, and I think about that a lot myself. Do you guys, anybody use Twitter? Anybody use Twitter ever at all? Nobody?
Sometimes a little.
I don't have one, but I don't know how to work it.
Twitter's awful. Twitter's awful. Well, because the first thing I'm going to say, you know, when it comes to like branding yourself on social media, it's a really good idea to be on different platforms. And really the two that matter are Facebook and Instagram. But when I say multiple platforms, I do mean three. So with Facebook, you have your personal Facebook page and your business Facebook page, which both of those are like really, really important. You want to use both of them in different ways. So, but really consider that if you're not on Instagram already, it's a photo-driven thing. You're posting listings. You know, you're posting pictures of your clients after your really awesome sales, happy people, stuff like that. So Instagram is huge. So I would definitely say that's one huge important thing when it comes to personal branding. Second thing is this: think like it's social media. So consider how you can be social when you're on there. If you're posting the kind of content that people can't engage with, like if it's just a picture of a house and like your phone number and your website on every single post, eventually what's going to happen is people are going to keep scrolling past those, and every time somebody scrolls past your post but doesn't engage with it, Facebook or Instagram or whatever recognizes that and it says, oh, well, this person doesn't like this kind of content, we're not going to show it to them anymore. That's why when you post pictures of a house or of a open house or whatever, and people don't engage with it. I was talking to a few business owners yesterday. They were like, man, when I post these crafts that I work so hard on, I get 20 likes. When I post a picture of my barbecue baked beans, I get 100 likes. When I post a picture of my mom in the nursing home, she got 200 likes. And she did not look good in that picture. That's just the way it goes there sometimes. And it's like, that's the thing. People want to see different kind of content, and it is social media. So when they followed you, they followed a person. And they want to see you on there too. So that's the second thing. I would say definitely try to consider how you're posting the kind of content that people can actually engage with. And so that, and then the third thing, I wrote a blog post about this that I haven't launched yet. Because I started a blog because that's a different platform. But the third thing I would say, be relevant in a sense that you're different. Post the kind of content that's going to make you stand out. And for real estate agents here, I talked to a few real estate agents in Bartow County about this, and no one takes my advice on it. So if you want to cash in on this, this will change the game for you in a huge way. So I said it's social media. They've added a friend, or they followed a business page with your profile picture on it, right? So they followed a person, and they want to engage with a person. If you incorporate yourself into your post, if you're posting videos, live videos are huge. If you're doing an open house, that little bit before people get there, if you can do a live video, if no one watches it live, or just your husband gets on there and watches it live or whatever, or just some random person who's for sure never going to buy a house, don't be discouraged by that. Own that moment like when you're in a live video, because people are gonna watch that for a few days. Facebook and Instagram, especially Instagram on stories, love live videos, and they want people to use that feature. People don't use that feature very much. So when you use it, Facebook's gonna say, I like this person, and they like our service. We're gonna put their content in front of more people. Same thing with posting a video. I posted a video saying Happy Mother's Day to my mom. It got more likes than anything I put on Facebook in a long time. It didn't do nearly as well on Instagram, but Instagram doesn't like videos and posts as much if you care. But so I would definitely say that. I'm not done with that. No, I'm not done with that because it's actually really important to put yourself in your post. I went on a date recently with a girl, because that's who I date, and it was kind of like a blind date thing, you know. My friends had, mutual friends. I had run into her before, but I didn't know it at the time. So what do you do when you're going on a blind date? You guys might not know. You look them up. You get on social media, you look them up. Why wouldn't you? Obviously, I knew her name, and I knew her mutual friend, so I found her, and it turns out she's a real estate agent. And so I get on her Facebook, and she's a real estate agent, and you know what? She posts the exact same stuff as all of the real estate agents. So what I found was, other than her professional headshot, that was her profile picture, which is a good idea to have, I couldn't find a picture of her anywhere. And I know those professional headshots, that's not what you look like. I know that. So I was a little bit nervous, you know what I mean? And then another thing is, she's a mom. I didn't know that. I'm not a dad, and I'm not, I'm not good with kids, so I wasn't there for that. I'm not here for it. But I went. It was fun. We had a great time. We're friends now. So anyway, but I saw like 1,000 pictures of houses, and posts about that kind of stuff, and then 1,000 pictures of her kid, very cute kid, and that's great. But here's the thing: I looked at her personal Facebook, and there was nothing on there of her, and she's beautiful. Like you guys. In fact, do me a favor. Will you do me a favor right now? Will you look at somebody beside you for a second? Just like look at anybody beside you really quick, and then repeat after me. You are.
You are. You are.
Look them right in the eyes. Say, you are.
You are.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Even you, man, you got it going on. So, you are, if you believe that, and all about yourself. Or if you don't, here's the thing. The people who add you as a friend on Facebook, they know what you look like. So if you're like, I'm having a bad hair day. Your friends on Facebook have seen you with a bad hair day. It's okay to go ahead and throw that live video up there. Post a picture with your client after closing. That's huge. You just did the biggest, they just made their biggest purchase ever, the most important thing in their entire life up to that point, maybe. Definitely the biggest thing in a while for them, probably. If you can jump in that picture at the closing table with them, and then they post it, and they share it, and their friends are happy for them, their family are happy for them, so they share it, congratulations, so whatever, that kind of thing. And guess what? In every picture, it's you. It's not just your name, it's actually you. And they see you and they recognize you. That is the best possible form of personal branding. Even bigger than that, if you can go to their house with them, their new house, really quick, it's gonna take an extra what? How many minutes to take a picture? Like a millisecond. And you jump in a picture in front of that house with them, taking down the sign or whatever, oh man, that's huge, huge, huge. People like pictures of people so much more than they like pictures of anything else. So if you can be in the picture, the algorithm literally has facial recognition, so it sees when a person's in the picture, and it sees when you're in the picture. It knows you. So if you can be in the picture, the algorithm alone is going to put you in front of so many more people. But when you're in the picture, people are more likely to share it, more likely to engage with it, till you look great, till you look natural, till you don't look that great, whatever. But it helps. Every bit of it helps. So I would say the last thing is be remarkable on there. And so just being in your pictures will make you remarkable because most real estate agents aren't. So that will help a lot. But be remarkable in a sense. If you're excited for your clients, tell people about it. Let every other potential client know that you're actually really, really, really happy to work with them. But be remarkable in a sense. Say it in a way that's different than other people are saying it. So if at every closing you just make a 3 or 4 sentence with all your heart, and those 3 or 4 sentences post about how happy you were for them, that's great. But most agents are doing that. Maybe you make a video with them, or you make a video a couple days after. Say, I'm just thinking back to this sale and all the things that we went through to get there, and all the people who helped make it happen. If you can post that kind of content, it makes you remarkable compared to other people, and it'll help a ton with your personal branding. I would love, seriously, I love Maximum One. I think you guys are the hottest stuff in town. And if you could communicate that to people in a remarkable, unique, but not even different way. Just put yourself out there a little bit more. And when I say put yourself out there, I mean put yourself out there. Not just what you do, but who you are. And I haven't heard, I heard someone a minute ago saying, like, we were so busy for a couple months and now it's like, not busy. You can talk about that. If I'm looking for a real estate agent and I see someone who's actually being honest, like, hey, I'm free, so if you need me, I'm completely available to you. Like, we just had a great month, like, talk about the great month, don't be like, I've never sold anything. But if you just had like a great couple months and you could like talk about that and say, now I'm available, let's do it again, I'm ready. Who needs some help? But if you do it in a different way, like I said, oh man, it would just make the whole world of difference. But so put yourself out there and don't be scared. Like, my mom is the most beautiful woman I've ever met in my entire life. She is incredible, awesome in every way, inside and out. And she's got this weird mentality where she's like, she thinks she doesn't look good in pictures. You know what she looks like in pictures? She looks like herself, because it's just a picture of her. And look, I'm 25, man. We're not getting any prettier. We are who we are. Put yourself out there. Please, 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 never, ever, ever. Please never be scared to put yourself out there. It's you, man. It's only you got. So jump out there, put yourself out there. Let people see you. Let people see that you're excited. Smile, and when you smile, don't look. Last tip. When you smile, squint your eyes a little bit. It's really creepy if you smile with your eyes really. You look like you just got like punched in the gut. So just do that. It'll make a big difference. So, yeah, that's what I got to say about personal branding. I think there's 100 bajillion things you can do, but that's what I got to say about it. So, yeah, put yourself out there. It'll make a big difference.
Would you get the lights for a minute so we can watch this funny video, and then we'll get back on this. There we go.
Was when they advertise, but for some reason realtors do, and I've always been surprised by. They're always on park benches, or they're very interesting photos, and these are real photos of realtors. This first one is, this is Brad Lamb from Toronto, Canada. This is his ad. Miles above the competition. So when it comes time to make the most important financial investment of your life, choose a space sheep. He wouldn't steer me wrong, that guy. This is Dorita Mayu from Largo, Florida. Here she is with her Doritos. With her is when she shows a house. We'll take a look. This is one of the houses she was showing. That's how she shows a house. And here's a wall. That's how she shows it. Now, this is an ad. This is on a bench in Royal LePage, Canada. Wendy Wacko. You don't want to go with just any wacko. That's not the first wacko I've seen on a park bench, by the way. This is Sandy Ohms in Fremont, California. Now, if you'll just push me down the hall, I'll show you the bedrooms. All right, and here's another one of her ads, actually. This is real. This is her on the moon. For some reason in the background, there's another moon. Oh my God. And then even on the moon, there's competition. Look who's out there. Keaton is going to be sitting right there.
Isn't that hilarious? It took me a while to find that. Thank you, Holly. But, okay, so let's get back to this. So when you're branding yourself, this is what not to do. There's Mr. Rita. But, the cutout, the black screen and Mr. Frankenstein. I think that guy just looks sad and depressed.
Yeah,
Like, why would you ever want to buy a house from that guy? And these are real estate photos. It's crazy. Like, why would you do that?
He looks like he's gonna buy someone.
I know. So, if your pictures are not up to date, you need to get them up to date, and they need to be professional. And here's some examples. The one in the middle is somebody who took an older photo and updated it to make it look professional. But, you know, you want it of your face. Like, you know, a lot of times the pictures we see are the whole body or all the way down to here. And, you know, the ones with the arms crossed and all that. They know your face. They may not, your body can change too. So it's like your face a little bit, but, you know. But that is what they recognize you by is your face, right, Tyler? I mean, it's like, you know. So, and he's right, and I'm one of those people who said, I don't want to get in the picture, but yeah, it is me, and I get in the picture, so I need to learn that too. And it doesn't matter, you don't have to be, you know, 20. I mean, this guy here looks very nice and professional and friendly, and like, you know, I would go walk a house with him, absolutely. So, we just need to get him more professional. So, I've got a little handout, and we can just kind of pass these down and around if you would, so that you can take this home with you. But when creating a personal brand, you can do like brand yourself or brand your business. So for instance, like Amanda, she started at a Realty Group. That's her business. So she's branding her business more than she's branding Amanda Sinyard, although you are branding yourself too. For me, Marcy Sells Houses is my brand. That has my name and my business in it, so it's kind of a mixture. But, you know, somebody else might just be like Eric Renz. Eric Renz at Gmail. Everybody knows who Eric Renz is because he's been around for a long time doing real estate as Eric Renz. I didn't mean to say it like that. But so, you know, you got to think about, are you going to brand yourself or are you going to brand your business? So we were just talking about this, weren't we? Yeah. So Melanie, so anyway, personal brand works well because they're easy to start. It's very easy. You know the name. You lived with it all your life. Between personal websites, social media accounts, it's just easy to create a personal brand. And they are flexible because they can use your name and whatever you're offering. So you can add that a little bit. Okay. Personal brands are perfect for one-person industries. So if you're not going to create a team ever, if your team is going to spin off of your name, if you ever want to build a team, then that's great. Personal brand comms, your company name won't state what you do, most likely. Most of the time it won't. If you're just Eric Renz, how do we know that Eric Renz sells real estate? We know that because he's been around doing real estate for a long time. 20 years? 30 years? I don't know.
28.
28, okay, 28 years. But
1991, some of you weren't born yet.
But you can do it with a strong tagline that you consistently use in everything you do. And I guess that's kind of what I did with the Marcy Sells Houses thing, because that's obvious what I do, even though it's my name. Even if my last name changes, eventually, one day, maybe, I'll still be able to have that brand and be me. But here's a con. It's hard to sell a personally branded business. And we never think about that when we start in real estate, that eventually we're going to have a book of clients when we're 70 that we may be able to sell to somebody. And people most of the time just give them away, but can't you sell your book of business as real estate? Okay. So when you do that, it's very hard to sell it if it's personally branded because everyone knows you, they don't know your brand. Within our realty group, you could sell that.
That's why we did it. Like, we asked agents that obviously weren't gonna be part of our group, just what they thought. They're like, we never wanna go work with somebody whose name's in it. So that's why we took it out.
Gotcha.
We started the senior realty team. But
Oh,
when we done
yeah,
that
that's
consensus,
right.
we were like, we're gonna back off and we're gonna do something locally. So that's why we picked Agawam.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
love
exactly
it.
why.
And if you don't know, Edinburgh Realty Group and Couch Realty Group are two of our DBAs that are in maximum one, but they are DBAs. And I don't know.
Home style.
Yeah, I know that that's your brand, your home style realty. So, when building a business brand is the best solution, it forces you to think about your plans for your business, what your future is, like when Realty Group thought about the future, like what happens when people want to join. You know, if you do want to build a team, what's that going to look like? Couch Realty Group, it is your name, but it's also, a couch is a thing. So it depends on how they perceive that, so that's interesting. So think about who your ideal customer is, what you'll offer, and what your business will be known for. Going through this process helps you create a vision for where you want to take your business. Business brands allow you to position your business from hello, from the very, very beginning. Everyone knows you as this, and it's not you changing midstream, which, you know, some people do. You know, and if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. But there are no limits on the words you use, so find a few that express what your business offers, complement them with a tagline that builds excitement. Watch as your ideal customer grasp what you offer as soon as they hear your business name. Business brands, of course, are easier to sell later on in life. We get into our, you know, for me it'll probably be my 80s or 90s before I ever quit. But yeah, when my brain isn't there anymore, I'll have to sell and be able to pay for the retirement of. But until then, I'm doing business because I love it. The cons are it's hard work to build a business brand because people know you as who you are. And so it is more difficult to start that up. You have to create a brand name at a time when you still may be trying to decide even what you're going to do. When you're brand new in real estate, you don't know that you're going to be, you know, a land specialist in 5 years. You don't know that you like land yet. You just know that you like real estate. You know, so it really depends. You have to do something that, I don't know, is going to be a little bit more generic. Now, Mike Garrett started out with, I don't know, I think he was just Mike Garrett, and then he went to Land Brokers and Garrett Land Brokers, and that's what he does. He's Garrett Land Brokers, but you know, everybody knows in the name, his name, and what he does. Another con is business brands aren't as flexible if your interests change. So if Mike Garrett decided to go into residential real estate, he'd have a tough time because the only people that know him are the people that deal with land. So anyway, you can usually come up with a name that describes the general field your products and services will fall into and so on. So you have this on a handout. So how to arrive at a brand? So number one question to ask yourself, and you have this in your handout too, what message do you want to send? You know, I knew that I was going to want to deal with houses, so my Marcy sells houses, that's what I do, and I'll say that when I give somebody my email, marcysells.houses@gmail.com, because that's what I do, and they laugh, you know, this little girl. And, you know, but that's all I knew I wanted to send out there is that I sell houses. How do you want to be perceived? Does the brand tell the story? And is the brand name available in Google, Gmail, Facebook, Instagram, GoDaddy, YouTube, and other social media? Because if you wanted to do, let's say, you know, NL Realty Group, and it was taken by Facebook, then what are you gonna do? You know, so check all those things while you're creating your brand to make sure that you can have a Gmail that makes sense, that you can have, that it's in Google, and you're not gonna Google yourself and find you're in Arizona. That would kind of stink. And by the way, Marcy Evans is a painter from Arizona also. So I've Googled myself and I found that. Anyway, what to include when branding? Your headshot, crisp, professional, and you, not your plastic smile. That would be the one with the eyes wide open. Your website name, and your social media, and your email. So, any questions about branding? Has anyone been thinking about branding themselves and they haven't quite gotten themselves there yet? You have, Tabby? Melanie? Okay. So, I hope this helps. And if you haven't thought about one of those things and you've already branded yourself, you know, please think about it. And here's Tyler Hicks. So
There he is.
There we go. One other thing, I'm going to turn the lights on again. And, oops. Turn the lights on that side.
Did you win American Idol?
No, I wish
That
I knew
was
that.
Taylor.
I wish I knew that guy.
So, Tyler, what can we encourage the agents to do to help us with our presence and our brand, and how does that help them?
Oh, dude, send me stuff to post. So what I do here for Maximum One, I'm available to you guys anytime. If you ever need help or you got a question just about something to do with social media, I'll be glad to help you as long as it's not like a lot. But yeah. But if you need help setting something up or getting, whatever, I would be glad to help or just advice. I'm available for that. So that's what we do. But another thing I do is I post on the Facebook accounts for here and for Rome. If you guys ever have anything that you should be posting yourself, but you know what? I just don't really care about my personal brand. I'm not going to post it. Please, if you ever have like an inspirational story, you have a really exciting closing, or you reach a mile marker in your own work or whatever. If you could ever just like shoot me an email, I'm on the roster even though I keep failing the test. If you just shoot me an email with that info about like just give me an idea what happened, I'll post it and I'll let you know we post it and you can share it. And I will pay to promote it. So it's like paid promotion for you just because we're trying to get Maximum One's brand as a whole out there in the community to let people know about what we're doing, what you guys are doing. So anytime you can send me anything at all, if you're like, people might want to hear about this from Maximum One, we'd be glad to share it. Like pretty much literally anything because I don't get a lot of content from
I'd like to see our DBAs being, and so that we can promote them.
Yeah, yeah. That's
That's
true too. But also, those of you that are brand new or almost brand new, if you have not sent me your headshot and your bio, please do so. Because we want to promote you on our page, and that will help get your business, because you can then share it from there back to your personal. I mean, we want it all over the place so that they know and the public knows who you are and what you do. So,
we're gonna start featuring like once a month an agent. Maybe somebody you don't ever see. I really want to start with Bill Boyd. He has a full-time job, but yet he still does business. And he's quite a character. So those of you that don't know, yes. So yeah, so you kind of get to know him.
He'll be laughing at the video, by the way, hi Bill.
Yeah.
Because he watches these.
So I have a question. I just found this. I didn't know we had a Facebook page. I just knew Rockstars. I just found it.
Yeah.
So should we be posting if we have a listing on there? How are we using that website?
As far as the Maximum One's Facebook page, we're not going to post a ton of listings on there, just because it's more about personal brand for the business, or I guess business brand. So we want more about you guys as people on there, more than listings, because we have a lot of listings, and that would just take up a lot. The reason I'll tell you this because it'll help you. The reason we won't post a whole bunch of listings on there is the same reason that I don't think it's a good idea. In fact, it's actually literally no way around it, a bad idea for you to post listings often on your page, like more often than you post personal content of yourself, even on your business page, because the algorithm recognizes they're posting the same kind of stuff all the time. They consider that spamming. And they'll put it in front of the same people who like it every time, which will be your husband, your friends who are trying to support your business, but they're never going to buy that house, you know what I'm saying? It'll keep putting it in front of them, but it won't put it in front of all the other people. So we want to keep posting the kind of stuff that's like people-driven, personal, stuff that people can connect with and engage with, whether they're buying a house or not, because that'll help us grow that kind of image on there, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you have a listing that is like, this family's been through, if it's an inspirational kind of story, if it's something that people will be like, wow, that's cool, we'll definitely post that. Or closings especially, like those are always usually pretty exciting.
So should we, like social media is my bag, that's like my thing. So should we be sending you what we want you to put up, or should we put it up directly?
Well, you put it on your personal page for sure.
No, I mean on this page.
On the Maximum One page, are you talking about the Rockstars page?
No.
Our
we're talking about our page.
I just found it.
Send it to me. Send it to me and I'll post it.
Send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
We have admins.
Yeah.
I think the admins are the only ones that can post, or
Okay,
maybe you
that's what I
can
was
suggest
asking.
something
Okay.
and then it can be approved. I'm not sure how does that work?
Yeah, as long as it's not weird. Or
So,
it's not,
so if we want to put something, we send it to you.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not picky. Like I said, it's just like when it comes to some stuff like listings, that would be like the only thing off the top of my head that I'm like, we won't post every one of those that I get for sure. Just because it's not helpful for.
Yeah, we have
Right.
We're doing
listings,
it
it's
as
so
a
crazy.
whole,
Mhm.
like so that, when somebody thinks about, oh, I need to go over to the next one, get an agent over there, I don't have an agent, that kind of stuff.
So what's your email? Do you?
BlakeTylerMedia@gmail.
Okay.
Yeah. So a good post would be some something about yourself and what you specialize in even.
Yes.
Because as people are looking at our page, because we have, I don't know how many likes do we have, like 400
It's like 400 now.
400 now?
Yeah.
So there are 400 people that are gonna see, oh, you know, who specializes in something here?
Mhm.
Somebody-
Kelly Anderson.
Yeah, Kelly Anderson's a
Yes,
senior expert.
Yeah, and so is Linda.
And so is Linda, so they could post about that and talk about it, and Tyler could post about it, and then somebody goes back to Maximum One on the Facebook page and goes,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, I need to call them because they do this. So the more presence we get out there for you,
Yeah.
it's not just your Facebook and your friends, it's all of the people in all of our circles.
And we'll
And
be
you can
paying
share the
to
page.
boost it
Yeah,
for you.
yeah,
We could be
We'll
first
cost
home
you
buyers.
anything.
We could do that.
yeah, for some home buyers.
Mhm.
We like
I
first
think I
home.
showed you, did that be some, that you posted through here?
I don't remember what do you mean, what did you show me?
I thought I talked to you.
The what?
I talked to you actually.
Okay.
The family, maybe the whole family that, selling their houses,
Yeah, talk about that to Tyler, seriously.
yeah.
Yeah, talk about that to him. I think that would be good. I do. 'Cause that's inspirational. You know, if we can show that we're helping other people, that helps expose the brand. When we expose the brand, we expose you,
Mhm.
right? So that gets you more business. Everybody sees that, right? I'm thinking, I hope, anyway, everyone can see that, so. All right, cool. Any questions about this stuff, branding or social media or, yeah? No? Okay, well, we are really late. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sorry we kept you captive, but we have a lot of food left over, I'm sure. So please help yourselves.
Go get some food from the chamber.
I'll look you up on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a little warm. So there's a directional sign right that way. Okay, so good. So we'll do that, and I'll just and I'll you can go ahead and go. I'll just make I put it on the thing, and I'll email
We'll be right me. Okay, cool. I'm gonna this photo. I'm gonna share it. I might rewrite it and make it like a whole different colors just to. So how I'm gonna do it, I'm talking about it, sorry. I'll let you know too. So what I'm gonna do, I'm literally gonna pull up your Facebook page, I'm gonna copy that, take those pictures that you posted, and then we'll put them on my conversation, and when I do, I'll tag you. You'll see, you'll get the notification. It'll be either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. No problem.
Thank you. Bye, Tyler.